Hey guys, it is that time of the week again, box office prediction time. But of course, first I have to check how I did last weekend, and I am thrilled to report that I redeemed myself. I got a 5 out of 5. Let's check out what the numbers were. Pixar's Coco took the win with $50.1 million. Then it was Justice League at number 2 with $41.4 million. Wonder at number 3 with $22.7 million. Then Thor Ragnarok at number 4 with $16.9 million. And Daddy's Home 2 rounding out the top 5 with $13.2 million. Now for this week, my number 5 is actually not going to be Daddy's Home. I'm going to give the edge to Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express did come in behind Daddy's Home 2 last weekend, but when I've been looking at the daily total since, Murder on the Orient Express seems to be edging it out. In order to figure out the number for this one, I'm looking at Arrival, and I know they're not similar movies, but Arrival did come out right around the same time last year, and thus far they've had a pretty similar run. I do think Arrival had a stronger weekend 4 than Murder will have because it was an Oscar contender. So I'm just going to take Arrival's weekend 3 to 4 drop and bring it up a little to, let's say, 45%. And if that's how things pan out for Murder on the Orient Express, it's going to make another $7 million. And that should be good enough for number 5. Moving on to number 4 now, that's where I have Thor Ragnarok. For Thor, I'm running with the Doctor Strange comparison, but I have to bring up that percent change because I think Thor Ragnarok has a little more to lose than Doctor Strange did at this point in its run. So if I put that percent change at around 55%, Thor Ragnarok is going to lock number 4 with about $8 million. Moving on to number 3, it's where I have Wonder. I actually think that Wonder has a fair chance at catching Justice League, but I do think putting it at number 3 is the safer bet. So I'm running with that. To figure out the number, I'm looking at The Help, and yeah, that was an August release, but The Help also opened surprisingly big and had very long legs, and I think Wonder's going to find itself in a pretty similar position this week, but Wonder does have more competition in, let's say, Coco, Justice League, all the movies that are out right now that could be award season contenders. So I'm going to take The Help's 27% weekend 2 to 3 drop, bring that number up to 30%. That would still give Wonder $16 million, which is quite the haul there and could put it really close to what I have at number 2, and that's Justice League. I'm going to stick with that Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 comparison because clearly that served me pretty well last weekend. So that one took a really big hit, making the move from weekend 2 to 3. And I think a similar thing is going to happen to Justice League, but rather than have it have a 64% drop like Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, I'm going to lower that number to 60%, which would leave Justice League with another $16.5 million, which should be enough to beat Wonder. Now on to my number 1, I've got Coco hanging on to that top spot. Looking at how Moana performed in its second weekend out last year, which was also the weekend after Thanksgiving, that one dropped 50%, making the move from weekend 1 to 2. But that one also had more to lose than Coco does. So I'm going to take that 50% drop and bring it down to more like, let's say 47%. And if that's how things pan out for Coco, it's going to lock that top spot with a really nice $27 million total. Time to recap now. I've got Coco at number 1 with $27 million. Justice League coming in at number 2 with $16.5 million. Wonder at 3 with $16 million. Thor Ragnarok coming in at number 4 with $8 million. And then Murder on the Orient Express taking that number 5 spot with $7 million. So those are my predictions. Now I need yours. Hit that comment section and share what you think right there. Curious to see how your predictions compare to mine. And before we close out this video, it is time for a Patreon shout out. This one goes to Lewis. Lewis, thank you so much for your support. I really can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody out there who's watching right now. Please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you soon with more reviews, box office predictions, Nemo vlogs, you name it. Bye, guys.